Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the Colorado Avalanche versus the Montreal Canadiens. The Avs are wearing their Nordiques jerseys, and this looks like a modern-day Battle of Quebec. Both teams are on the second half of a back-to-back. We'll see whose legs hold up better. Starting in net for Montreal is Dobish, and in net for Colorado is Blackwood. 4 minutes into the game, Nelson accidentally clips Bolduc with his stick and has to sit 2 minutes for high sticking. On that power play, Montreal created 3 dangerous chances, but Mackenzie Blackwood fought them all off. A couple minutes after that PK, the Avs get a 3-on-2 rush the other way. Lehkonen gives it off to Nelson. Meanwhile, Xhekaj's skate clips his own player and he ends up falling. As Xhekaj's falling, Nelson has a clean look at the net and he wires it home. About halfway through the first period, Cale Makar mishandles a bouncing puck and gives Anderson a breakaway. 6.5 minutes left in the first period, Colton brings the puck in on a rush. He feeds it off to Nelson, who shoots it. Meanwhile, Landeskog was being interfered with by Anderson, creating a delayed penalty. Anderson then trips Landy into Dobish. But before Gabe is swept off his feet by Anderson, the puck bounces off his skate and in to give him a goal. Montreal then challenges the goal for goaltender interference. I'm not sure why they did that, it seemed like a bad challenge to me. This now means the Avs are going to the power play either way this call goes. If the goal stands, then Montreal gets a delay of game penalty. If the goal gets called back, then the original delayed penalty will stand and the Avs will head to a power play. It looks like the refs agree with me that this was a bad challenge because they make their decision in record time. The goal stood, the Avs are now up 2-0 and they head to the power play. This was worst case scenario for Montreal. The Avs hold the puck in Montreal's zone almost that whole power play, but they couldn't get anything by Dobish. We then come to the end of the first period, the Avs still have the 2-0 lead. We start the second period, and 1 minute in, Nelson is already hunting for his third point on the night. Unfortunately, he rings his shot off the crossbar. On the ensuing faceoff though, Nelson wins it back to Burns, and he wires it by Dobish. But Nelson wasn't done there. 3 minutes later, Nelson gets a 2-on-0 with Nietzsche, and he looks him off and takes the shot. The shot ended up going wide, and Nietzsche picks up the puck, and he draws all the attention from the Montreal defenders. This left Nelson alone on the back door. Nietzsche found him and he puts it home. That goal faked out the crowd that Nelson got a hat trick. There was a scoring change that changed the second goal from Nelson to Landeskog. With 11.5 minutes left in the second period, Malinsky bumps into Blackwood. And of course this had to happen right when Slavkovsky passed it over to Demidov. Because Blackwood couldn't push off his post, Demidov got an easy goal. That would end Blackwood's shutout streak at 173 minutes and 31 seconds. This will be a new personal best for Mackenzie Blackwood, but it will only be third on the franchise leaderboard. Blackwood's record will sit right behind a Montreal and Colorado Avalanche legend, Patrick Waugh. 3 minutes left in the second period, Florin Xhekaj gets a chance, but his stick explodes in his hand. With about 2 minutes left in the second period, Natchez gets tied up with Kapanen, and the ref takes both of them. This will give us 4-on-4 to finish off the second period. During the 4-on-4, the Avs were just waiting for their chance to strike. And with a minute left in the second period, they get it. Montreal pressures, and they get 3 guys caught in the neutral zone. A quick pass to Landy sends him and McKinnon on a 2-on-1. Landeskog then throws a pass off the pads right to McKinnon's skate. He kicks it to his stick and buries it. We come to the end of the second where the Avs are up 5-1 because they just restored their 4-goal lead. 3 minutes into the third period, Blackwood has to make a huge save, and McKinnon kicks the rebound out to Natchez, and it springs him and Taves on a 2-on-1. Natchez tries to pass it over to Taves, but the puck gets deflected. Taves gloves it down, sends it back to Natchez, but it goes off of Matheson's stick and into his own net. This would give Taves his first goal of the year, and then right after that, Taves gets called for slashing. On that power play, Lane Hudson would blast a one-timer right by Blackwood. Shortly after that, Evans gets called for high sticking and puts the Avs on the power play. On that power play, McKinnon throws a shot wide, Landy tips it behind his back and in. And ever since the Avs moved Landy onto the top power play unit, it has looked a lot better. A couple minutes later, Anderson takes his frustrations out on Natchez and cross-checks him. This time, the Avs start their second unit. And to their credit, they did generate a few chances that Dobish had to rob them on. 5 minutes left to go in the game, Anderson once again takes his frustrations out on Natchez. As Natchez is stick handling through the zone, Anderson chops it out of his hand and gets a penalty. Once again, the Avs start the second unit. This time it looked like the Avs' goal was just to rock Montreal to sleep. The power play just passed it around for the first minute and a half, but with the last 30 seconds, they did throw a few shots on net. Close the game out, Montreal tries to get physical with the Avs a few times, but they don't bite. We finish this game with a huge 7-2 victory for the Avs. Landeskog put up his first multi-goal game since February 2022. That's almost 4 years ago now. He also had an assist to give himself 3 points on the night. I don't know about you guys, but the last few games has really been looking like the cap is back. McKinnon and Natchez also had 3-point nights tonight, but none of those guys had the best performance tonight. That goes to Nelson, who was a factor on the first 4 Avalanche goals. He had 2 goals and 2 assists before the halfway point of this game. And last but not least, Blackwood set a personal best shutout record. It's set at 173 minutes and 31 seconds. This is also good enough for third place in the franchise history books.